only got put out because Iman leaked the divorce documents from Jump Street. Our divorce was private. Our proceedings was private. Everything was private for a whole year. Y'all didn't even know. I'm gonna give you one even better. The same time that I filed for divorce, I still had Iman opening up for me on tour. Iman was still with me on tour. Let's talk about it. Iman was with me on tour. We singing Wake Up Love, we kissing, we hugging, we da-da-da-da-da. Like at the end of the day, I still had your back. I still looked out for you. And that's another thing. Y'all sitting there saying, like, at the end of the day, I always held Iman down. When Iman stopped playing basketball, I got him on the shy. I called Lena and said, yo, these motherfuckers is playing with my husband. Like, he's so much bigger than basketball. He's so much bigger than boom, 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 boom. Like, he could act, he could model, he could boom, boom, boom. He could do whatever he want to do. Let's get him where he needs to be.
What if everything you believed about Teyana and Iman's perfect marriage was nothing but a well-crafted illusion? What if the calm after their public separation wasn't really peace, but a carefully timed silence hiding something much deeper? And what if, instead of healing privately, Teyana had slipped away on a secret vacation, only to be exposed in the most unexpected way? Because when the truth surfaced, it wasn't from a heartfelt confession. It came in the form of leaked beachside, photos that sent the internet into a full-blown frenzy. Iman didn't find out from her. He found out like the rest of us, through the raw, unfiltered lens of the internet. And just like that, everything shifted. For days, people assumed Teyana had taken a step back to recover emotionally. She had gone quiet. No posts, no paparazzi snaps, nothing to suggest she was doing anything but grieving the end of a high-profile marriage. It made sense. She had just separated from the man she built a life with. But then, seemingly out of nowhere, the calm shattered. A wave of leaked pictures flooded online blogs and social media pages. They weren't blurry fan photos or paparazzi zoom shots. These were clear, intimate moments. Teyana, glowing under the sun, laughing and relaxing beside a man that wasn't Iman. And not just any man. It was Aaron. The very same Aaron who had been the shadow in the room for months. The man people had whispered about but no one could confirm. Until now. The setting was picturesque. Tropical skies, soft waves, and untouched beach, and two people who looked like they were far from troubled. If anything, they looked like lovers on a honeymoon. The vibe wasn't casual, it was romantic. Their body language said everything. And the silence from both sides? That said even more. But the real dagger? The timing. Just a few days earlier, Iman had posted a raw and emotional message on Instagram. He wrote about family, about holding things together, about still having hope. "I'm doing everything I can to keep us whole," he said. He poured his heart out publicly, showing he wasn't ready to let go. And now the world was looking at his wife, smiling in someone else's arms. The backlash was instant. Fans felt betrayed. Some said it was too soon. Others couldn't believe she would be so bold. And then the conspiracy theories started. Was this relationship already happening before the separation? Had Teyana emotionally checked out long before they announced anything publicly? What once looked like a mature, respectful breakup was quickly spiraling into something way more scandalous. Looking back, the signs had been there for a while. Teyana and Iman weren't posting together anymore. They were showing up to events separately. Their captions had gone from sweet and flirty to vague and distant. Some fans brushed it off as normal couple stuff, others knew better. Then Aaron's name started appearing in comment threads and gossip sites. He wasn't just a random friend or business associate. Insiders claimed he had connections deep in Iman's inner circle. Some even said he was close enough to be considered family adjacent, which made everything 10 times worse. When they finally announced the separation, the statement felt rehearsed. "We love and respect each other but are growing apart." That's what we heard. But what was really happening behind the scenes? Now, with these beach photos, it seemed like the cracks in their marriage were much deeper, and maybe even had names. And while fans had their theories, Iman's family gave us their answer through actions. The moment those photos hit the internet, his sister hit unfollow, then his cousin. Close friends started removing tags, deleting old posts. No one made public statements, but the message was loud and clear. They were done with Teyana. A source close to the family said Iman was completely blindsided. He hadn't known she was seeing Aaron. He hadn't known she was even on vacation. He found out with the rest of us, scrolling through his phone, staring at pictures of his ex with someone he probably once trusted. Inside Teyana's circle, things weren't any better. Some of her friends tried to support her. They said she had the right to move on, that she didn't owe the public any explanation. But others were worried, not just about her image, but about the kids. One friend reportedly said, "She might think this is love, but this timing, this rollout, it's reckless." There was a sense of unease, even among people who wanted the best for her. Because healing is one thing, but doing it in the arms of someone tied to your ex's world, that's another. Social media blew up like a volcano. Twitter, TikTok, Reddit. Every platform had its own version of events, its own theories, its own angles. People who had never paid much attention to the couple before suddenly became investigative journalists, combing through years of footage, interviews, and even Instagram stories. A single tweet set off a firestorm. She left her husband and took a vacation with his enemy? Cold. That tweet wasn't just viral, it was everywhere. Screenshotted, reposted, argued over in comment sections stitched into TikToks. The implication was harsh, but so many people couldn't look away. It was scandal wrapped in mystery, and the internet loves both. From there, the rabbit hole only got deeper. Users started resurfacing old interview clips. Moments that once seemed innocent were now being re-examined under a microscope. People slowed down videos, scrutinizing Teyana's facial expressions, the inflection in Iman's voice. One TikTok, in particular, went viral by pointing out moments where Teyana seemed distant, checked out emotionally. The creator walked through a timeline, suggesting that maybe this thing with Aaron didn't start after the breakup, but way before. The theory? That cracks in the marriage had been there for years, and Aaron may have quietly filled those gaps long before the public even caught a whiff of trouble. It was like puzzle pieces suddenly started clicking into place, and the picture they formed wasn't a flattering one. But not everyone was outraged. In fact, some fans defended Teyana fiercely. They said she finally looked happy, that she had given so much of herself for so long, she deserved peace. Comments flooded in under her recent posts. Some simple like, "You look free," or "finally glowing." These weren't just compliments. They were affirmations, support, people rallying behind her with the kind of passion only social media can create. Of course, the backlash wasn't far behind. Others were quick to push back. Happiness is one thing, betrayal is another. And with that, the internet split. Two sides formed, each just as vocal and passionate as the other. Arguments broke out in threads. People unfollowed celebrities who liked the wrong post. Fans turned into detectives and then into prosecutors. Accusations flew like wildfire. And all the while, Teyana, Iman, and Aaron were trending non-stop. People couldn't stop watching. It was like a reality show playing out in real time, except this wasn't scripted. It was painfully real. Then the legal rumors started. Whispers at first, then louder and more persistent. Word began circulating that Iman might be considering going for full custody of their daughters. Not out of revenge or anger, but out of concern. People speculated that if he believed their home life was becoming unstable, he could use this as leverage in court. Because when it comes to custody, perception matters. Judges don't just look at who's right or wrong. They look at environment, consistency, and most of all, public image. And suddenly, this wasn't just gossip. It was about real consequences. Those leaked vacation photos weren't just controversial anymore. They could be evidence. Then the spotlight shifted to Aaron. People started digging into his past, trying to figure out who he really was. Was he genuine? Was he in love? Or was he taking advantage of Teyana while she was vulnerable? Some even wondered if he was part of a bigger scheme, maybe orchestrated, maybe opportunistic. His social media got combed through past relationships, got pulled into the spotlight, and suddenly his entire character was on trial in the court of public opinion. Questions started pouring in. Would brands still want to associate with Teyana? Would her reputation take a permanent hit? Or was this just a phase of backlash she could weather? The entertainment industry is unforgiving. Public perception drives endorsements, collaborations, and even streaming numbers. And while some fans were louder than ever in their support, others were quietly unfollowing, muting, walking away. Not because they hated her, but because they didn't want to get caught in the mess. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get any messier, the music rumors dropped. Apparently, Iman was in the studio, but this wasn't just another track, it was personal, raw, honest. A diss track not just aimed at Aaron, but at Teyana too. Word spread that the lyrics cut deep, that they were full of betrayal, heartbreak, loyalty tested and shattered. People who'd heard snippets said it was emotional, that it didn't hold back. If it ever got released, it wouldn't just be a song, it would be a statement. One that could flip the narrative all over again. And that's when a darker, more unsettling question began to surface. Was this whole thing about love, or was it about revenge? Because when you looked at how everything played out, the timing of the vacation, the photos, the social media leaks, the reactions, it almost felt too orchestrated, like someone was trying to control the story, to guide how the public would respond. People started to ask, was this chaos really accidental? Or was it designed? What made it more complex was how much was still unknown. No one knew what was happening behind closed doors. No one really knew who started what or why. But that didn't stop people from choosing sides. It didn't stop them from investing emotionally. For some, this was a cautionary tale about loyalty. For others, it was a story of freedom, of a woman reclaiming her life. But for everyone watching, one thing was clear. This was bigger than just a breakup. This was legacy-altering, and while the internet eventually moves on, in moments like this, it lingers. Because people don't just consume stories, they become part of them. They carry them, shape them, and retell them. And this story? It had all the ingredients: love, betrayal, fame, family, and the public eye. It wasn't just scandal, it was spectacle. And as long as that spectacle continued, the world would keep watching. And maybe this is just chapter 1. Because if the leaked photos were the opening scene, imagine what's coming next. These aren't just celebrities. These are people navigating heartbreak, ego, and public judgment. And whether you're Team Teyana, Team Iman, or just trying to make sense of the chaos, one thing's for sure, this story is far from over. So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this a love story gone wrong? A betrayal? Years in the making? Or just another messy celebrity tale? Either way, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Because trust us, the next chapter is coming, and it's going to be even wilder.